The sun, a painter of celestial masterpieces, began to dip below the horizon, casting long, sleepy shadows across the valley. The vibrant blues and energetic yellows of the daytime sky softened into a gentle palette of lavender, rose, and a deep, calming indigo. It was as if the sky itself was yawning, preparing for its nightly slumber. Our story begins in a small, cozy cottage nestled in the heart of this tranquil valley. The cottage, with its thatched roof the color of dried honey and walls of smooth, river-worn stones, seemed to have grown from the earth itself. A gentle stream, no wider than a whisper, flowed nearby, its soft murmuring a constant, soothing lullaby. Inside this cottage lived a kind and gentle soul named Alara. Alara was a weaver of dreams, not in the literal sense, but in the way she moved through the world, with a quiet grace and a deep appreciation for the simple, beautiful moments of life. She had hair the color of spun moonlight and eyes that held the gentle wisdom of ancient forests. As the last sliver of the sun disappeared, leaving behind a sky dusted with the first shy stars, Alara stepped out onto her small porch. She held a warm mug of chamomile tea in her hands, its fragrant steam mingling with the cool evening air. The scent of night-blooming jasmine climbing the trellis beside her porch filled her senses, a sweet and calming perfume. She settled into her favorite rocking chair, its gentle creak a familiar and comforting rhythm. The chair, a gift from her grandmother, had rocked generations of her family into peaceful repose. As she rocked, she listened to the symphony of the approaching night. The crickets began their chirping chorus, a gentle, rhythmic pulse in the growing darkness. A lone owl hooted softly from the ancient oak tree that stood sentinel at the edge of the woods. Its call was a soft, melodic question to the moon. The valley was bathed in the soft, silvery light of the rising moon. The stream shimmered and danced, reflecting the celestial glow. The leaves of the trees whispered secrets to the gentle breeze, their rustling a soft, shushing sound. Alara took a slow, deep sip of her tea. The warmth spread through her, a gentle wave of relaxation. She closed her eyes, not to sleep just yet, but to better feel the world around her. She felt the coolness of the evening air on her skin, the gentle sway of the rocking chair, the solidness of the warm mug in her hands. She thought about her day, a simple and peaceful one. She had tended to her garden, her fingers gently coaxing new life from the rich, dark earth. She had watched the bees dance among the flowers, their low hum a busy, happy sound. She had read a chapter of an old book, its pages filled with tales of faraway lands and magical creatures. Now, as night settled over the valley, a deep sense of peace enveloped her. It was a peace that came from a day lived simply and mindfully, a peace that came from being in harmony with the natural world. The rocking chair continued its gentle, rhythmic dance. The crickets chirped their lullaby. The owl hooted its soft, sleepy question, and the moon, a silent guardian, watched over the valley, bathing everything in its gentle silver light. Alara felt her eyelids grow heavy, the cares of the day melting away like snowflakes on a warm hearth. The boundary between wakefulness and dreams began to blur, and she felt herself drifting on a calm and peaceful sea towards the shores of slumber. The gentle rocking of the chair was like a boat on a calm sea, carrying her further and further away from the shore of wakefulness and closer to the soft and welcoming island of dreams. The air grew cooler, and she pulled a soft, hand-knitted blanket over her lap. The blanket, made from the wool of the valley's own sheep, was the color of a twilight sky and felt as soft as a cloud. She opened her eyes for a moment and looked up at the vast, star-dusted canopy above. The constellations, ancient storytellers of the night, seemed to twinkle with a gentle, knowing light. She traced the familiar patterns with her gaze, the great bear lumbering across the sky, the swan taking flight, the hunter with his sparkling belt. Each star was a tiny, distant sun, a beacon of light in the immense, quiet darkness. The sight filled her with a sense of wonder and awe, a feeling of being a small but cherished part of something vast and beautiful. The gentle murmur of the stream seemed to grow softer, as if it too was preparing to rest. The rustling of the leaves became a quieter whisper. Even the crickets' chorus seemed to mellow, their chirps becoming slower and more spaced out. The world was slowly, gently falling asleep. Alara took another slow, deep sip of her tea, now just lukewarm. The chamomile, with its subtle notes of apple and honey, was working its gentle magic. She felt a deep sense of contentment, a feeling of being exactly where she was meant to be. There was no worries, no to-do lists, no nagging thoughts to disturb the perfect peace of this moment. There was only the gentle rock of the chair, the soft blanket on her lap, the calming symphony of the night, and the slow, steady rhythm of her own breath. She began to imagine a story in her mind, a simple, sleepy tale to guide her further into her dreams. She pictured a tiny seed, nestled deep within the dark, warm earth. The seed was safe and snug, cradled in the loving embrace of the soil. It didn't strive or struggle, it simply rested, gathering its strength for the right moment to grow. It felt the gentle vibrations of the world above, the pitter-patter of raindrops, the low hum of the bees, the whisper of the wind. These were its lullabies, its connection to the world it would one day join. As Alara pictured the seed, she felt herself becoming as still and as peaceful as the tiny seed. She was nestled in her own cozy burrow, safe and warm in her rocking chair, on her quiet porch, in her peaceful valley. The world outside could wait. The morning would come with its own gentle beauty, its own simple tasks. But for now, there was only this moment, the sweet, slow descent into sleep. Her breathing became deeper and more regular, a soft, quiet rhythm that matched the gentle pulse of the night. Her head tilted to the side, resting against the smooth, worn wood of the rocking chair. A final, sleepy thought drifted through her mind, a thank you to the day that had been, and a gentle welcome to the night that was. The mug of tea, now cool, rested forgotten in her lap. The story of the seed had woven itself into the fabric of her own approaching dreams. The boundary between the teller and the tale had dissolved. Alara, the weaver of dreams, was now a part of the dream she had so gently crafted. And as the moon continued its silent journey across the sky, casting its silvery light on the sleeping cottage in the heart of the tranquil valley, Alara, our peaceful protagonist, drifted off to sleep, her gentle snores a new soft note in the symphony of the night.
The world of Ilara's dream was a world painted in the softest of hues. The sky was a perpetual twilight, a gentle blend of lavender and rose, where the stars and the sun coexisted in a harmonious, sleepy dance. The air was filled with the sweet, calming scent of moonflowers and dew-kissed grass. In her dream, Ilara found herself walking along a path paved with smooth, glowing pebbles that emitted a soft, warm light. The path meandered through a forest of silver-barked trees, their leaves the color of jade, rustling with a sound like 1,000 tiny wind chimes. The forest was not dark or menacing, but welcoming and serene. The light from the pebbles cast a gentle glow on the underside of the leaves, creating a canopy of shimmering green above her. She walked with a light heart, her feet barely seeming to touch the ground. There was no destination in mind, no purpose to her journey other than to simply be in this peaceful place. She felt a profound sense of calm, a feeling that everything was right and as it should be. After a while, the path led her to a clearing. In the center of the clearing was a lake, its water as still and as clear as glass. the surface of the lake perfect